The Lawbringer is a fantastic class to own other characters with in For Honor. The Lawbringer is a more challenging class than most other classes in the game, and he has a very high skill cap. As a hybrid, he is similar to the Warden in regards to his perma-block stance, but the Lawbringer is more reliant on counterattacking your opponent. You can be aggressive, however, from your versatile unblockables to your quick guard breaks. Some of the strengths of the Lawbringer are his guard breaks, mix-ups, wake-up game, decent combo chains, and his unblockables. If you love guard-breaking kids and throwing them off the ledges and into spikes, fires, geysers, and just one-shotting them through a quick throw, then this is the class for you to play. The Lawbringer's throws have a faster animation than other classes, meaning if both classes guard break at the same time, the majority of the time the Lawbringers will have guard break priority and connect with his guard break over his opponent's. The throws also have more directional control than other classes, than say Assassins or even the Warlords, where you can have more ring control, so the player that is playing the Lawbringer has to have more ring awareness than most other classes. The Lawbringer has decent combos, having 3 combo chains, unlike some of the other basic classes, which only have like 2. These combo chains can lead to good mix-ups. You got a light, heavy, light. You also got a heavy, light, heavy. And then you also have a light, heavy, unblockable heavy. Another strength is the Lawbreaker's great wake-up game, mostly being set up from the Longarm. The Longarm, while it has limited range, can be used in mix-up situations. From the Longarm, you get a guaranteed free light attack. This can lead into your light, heavy, heavy unblockable attack, or your light, heavy feign, and then you do a mix-up of some kind. Or you can do a light attack into another Longarm. Or you can just do a light attack, which is guaranteed, into a guard break. Or you can just do the Longarm, do reposition yourself, guard break, then throw them off the cliff. The Longarm is countered by side dodging or back dodging. Lawbringer also has a versatile repertoire of unblockables. You have the light, heavy, heavy with any direction that's an unblockable. You can do a parry, which has this unblockable top attack. This can be parried, by the way, but it's difficult to side dodge, or you can just do the parry and get a guaranteed light attack. The Longarm, which I just mentioned, is also an unblockable. And of course, last but not least, the OP shove. This shove reduces stamina. It costs you stamina, but if it connects, it reduces your opponent's stamina even more. This can be done from any block. This can also be done from side dodging. I mostly like the guard break after a shove because you're mostly pushing your opponent into something anyways, or closer to something, the wall, the cliff, etc. So if you follow up with additional guard break, you can just keep the momentum going, or you can just do another shove if you're versing an opponent who's just turtling and is going to guard break you. I find some of the weaknesses of the Lawbringer are fighting side or back dodgers. Since your startup frames from a basic attack are slower than other classes, you can be parried or dodged easily. Someone who's passively just walking back, turtling, being patient, so your shoves or long arms misses, and they're also going to try to parry your slow heavy attacks. This is going to be that's a difficult matchup for you. A way for you to mix this up is to feign your heavy attacks. So you're going to get that light attack off, and then you start feigning heavy attacks, or you just feign the heavy attack from the start. So either from that initial or the light attack heavy combo. This is one of the reasons why it's important to put feigning into your game, is to fight players that are turtlers like this. So the Lawbringer has to use these heavy attacks frequently, so try to practice use feigning to become an unstoppable mix-up master. To try to counter dodging, you're going to do guard breaking. However, I find that this is sort of iffy, so with this like Orochi side attack swing, it's not going to connect, and guard breaking isn't 100% going to work on people who are going to do a dodge into an attack, really. I also find the Lawbringer can execute a lot of moves or combo chains, and since opponents like to dodge around a lot anyways, especially Assassins, This can lead to you whiffing a lot, right? And all these reasons, like whiffing, combo chains, etc., can make you run out of stamina really quick. So what I'm trying to say is the Lawbringers run out of stamina really easily. The way you counteract this is you connect those attacks and shove to also try to reduce the opponent's stamina. Okay, on to the juice, the real dirty combos. A few things you should know though before we talk about some of these combos is most classes in the game get a straight heavy attack. It's a non-charged heavy attack off of a straight guard break. And definitely you get a heavy attack from the side. So just a standing guard break, a side heavy, is mostly guaranteed in a vast majority of the time. Also to note, with any class, if you connect a guard break into a wall shove, your opponent can be hit with the slowest, nastiest heavy attack you can muster. So with the Lawbringer, this would be the top heavy attack, which can leave your opponent dazed, and this heavy attack can be comboed off into the light heavy attack mix-up. The first dirty combo based on the knowledge I just told you about is to abuse the rush after any successful heavy attack connects. They call it the heavy rush mix-up or whatever, heavy attack mix-up. But off a guard break, it's guaranteed. So this is how it works. So you guard break, standing guard break. You don't have to do a wall shove or anything. You do a side heavy attack from either side. Then you do a rush into the mix-up, kind of like what we talked about before. The first mix-up is you have a guard break, repeat after this. So, or simply put it as a guard break, side heavy, rush into another guard break. The way you break out of this combo is that guard break is broken. The next mix-up is you go into guard break, side heavy, rush, light, heavy, light combo. Or you do a guard break, side heavy, rush, long arm, guaranteed light attack mix-up. Another one is the guard break, side heavy, rush, light heavy, heavy unblockable combo. So you have that combo mix-up scenario. One way to just keep doing is you have an infinite situation. Now you're going to run out of stamina, but you're going to get off a lot of heavy attacks. And it's pretty impressive. This is a really nasty combo in general though. It's going to reduce your opponent's stamina. This can only be countered by guard breaking. This is a great combo against people who like to spam dodge because you can't dodge out of the guard breaks. We already spoke about the long arm combos / wake up game that stems from the long arm. Just keep in mind though that there's a limited range or a funky range to this long arm, so you can end up missing this long arm a lot. And it's going to be missing because people are going to be back dodging, they're going to be just walking backwards, or they're going to be side dodging you a lot. So you cannot connect this either the long arm when the person light attacks most of the time because it won't go through as a clean unblockable. This is decent for countering heavy attacks though, so the long arm can counter heavy attacks. You can't really use the long arm either against when they're up against a wall. So when you do a wall shove or a guard break shove into a wall, you can't do the long arm either. But why would you want to use the long arm after a wall shove when I just told you get an overhead heavy attack for free that causes the daze? And just keep in mind that daze animation, opponents cannot see the direction of your next attack. Remember, everything grays out for them. So you can get typically that light attack combo, or you do the long arm there, which is pretty nasty. The Lawbringer is really a counter-attacking class. So parrying is also really dirty with this class because of all the stamina reduction. It can reduce your opponent's stamina by 75%. But also you get that free light attack off of that attack. Now you can do an overhead unblockable off the parry. This unblockable though is not guaranteed. It can miss or be parried, and if they get exhausted from the parry, you're going to miss that overhead attack anyways. The major reason though you want to parry anyways is just it's going to reduce your opponent's stamina significantly. Also, long arm will work off of a parry, but you have to be able to eye the distance. And again, this can be side dodge, so it's not guaranteed, but again, it's a good mix-up. It's not bad to use. because when you do parry, you're going to be at plus frames, so your opponent typically is not going to side dodge out of it, but the AI will. Better players in most fighting games typically go for guaranteed moves, so they're not going to be greedy. They're just going to parry you and go for that guaranteed light attack off that parry. So you get the stamina reduction plus a guaranteed light attack. Some of my personal weaknesses that I can improve on with this class is that I don't nearly feign enough with the heavy attacks. The major issue I have with feigning, though, in general, is that it takes a lot of stamina. And I already spoke to about using a lot of stamina with this class, or running out of stamina. So if I throw a heavy attack, like, most of the time my opponent just blocks it. But think about it. When you feign, you're going to start mixing up like crazy. It's going to play a lot of head games with your opponent. And if you start feigning and know when to feign and how to feign, you're going to become a mix-up god. Because when you feign quickly, you're going to be able to go into defensive mode anyways. So there's going to be a lot of reasons why you want to feign anyways. And your heavy attacks are real slow, and against better players, they're going to parry you. So that's one thing I personally can improve upon. I'm just telling you, I don't see a lot of Lawbringers feigning enough anyways. Also, abusing the block shove is OP. You can block shove off of any successful block. This creates a sick mix-up. You're going to get plus frames off a shove. So anytime you successfully block, think about it, you get a free shove. So you can break up any chains, and I barely see any Lawbringers do this. And this is really OP, and as you begin to perfect this class by playing a lot with them, you're going to use this ability, and it's really powerful. I mean, this is a reason why this class could be top tier. You can side dodge and shove, so I don't do that enough either. So abusing the block shove and the side dodge shove is really OP. One thing I forgot to mention is the shove goes through damage. Basically any type of attack. So say your opponent does a heavy attack or a light attack, you eat the damage, you go right through it, and you shove them. So you could just dodge a lot more and do the side and do the shove without just standing there like a 7-foot brick house. And you could start moving around and shoving more. Do you get what I'm saying here? The shove is OP. Start using it a lot more. Now, when you go out and cut someone down on the battlefield, when you're playing the Lawbringer, let them know Asbolg is the one who taught you how to do it. Now go forth, puny human. Collect the skulls for my throne. And I'll see you guys in the next video.